I'm back. Told you we are going to make more videos, right? That's what we're doing. So here's a quick tip for you, especially for you beginners, okay? Most of the issues you have when you're making welds in the beginning are going to be arc length and they're going to be angles, right? How far away your electrode is from the material and the angles of the torch. But another thing you have to consider is aiming this electrode. So we do have angles, and you do have to pay attention to the angles. And the angles, remember guys, those angles control where the puddle goes. If we're going this way or if we're going this way, angles are really important. Arc length is very important. Probably most of the difficulty you're having right now is one of those things. You can't see it, you're not comfortable, arc length and angles. Travel speed's in there too. But today I just want to talk about aiming this tungsten. We also have to place this in the joint to make the puddle do what we want it to do. So come over closer and let me show you in this joint. This is a fillet weld joint and a T-joint, somewhat common. I got a lap joint too. What I'm talking about is where I'm placing the tungsten. So is it right in the middle? Am I a little bit more on the lower level? Because you can manipulate this a little bit with angles, but you also want to start thinking about where you're putting the tungsten. So if you look at these welds, right here's the weld joint, and most of my bead is on the bottom plate. I have the same angle, I used the same angle, but all I did for this one was bring it up in the joint a little bit. I just bring it up a little bit more. And then just to show you, this one, same angle, but I bring it way up here, and that's too much. So sometimes when you're doing these T-joints, you got to keep in mind, you're welding right on the edge of this one. So the only way the heat can get away is to go up. This bottom one can take a little more heat. So you might angle it a little closer, a little more into the bottom, but you also have to be aware of where you're placing, where you're aiming that thing. If I show you on this fillet weld, this lap weld, it's the same thing. If you look at this, right there is the edge of the metal. On this one, we're about here, and on this one, we're down here. Those are the same welds with the same angles. I just brought it down further into the bottom plate. This one I came over and I brought it up to the middle. And this one, just to show you, I exaggerated and brought it up there. So it's just a good little thing of knowledge to go along with your arc length and your angles. Angles, work angle, travel angle, arc length, but also think about where you're putting that electrode in the joint. And always remember, it's the puddle. The puddle's going to show you where you want it to go. You direct the puddle. The puddle only goes where you place that torch. If you angle it up, the puddle's going to go up. You angle it down, the puddle's going to go down. Most of the time we want the weld right in the middle, splitting that puddle between the two pieces we're welding, but sometimes we need to favor one piece or the other. So hope that helped you out a little bit, maybe gets you a little bit further in your task, and keep an eye out for some more videos.